When the original Destroy All Humans was released, Pandemic was riding the Star Wars Battlefront high and seemed to be able to do no wrong. It's always nice to see a studio have the opportunity to explore their own property after doing so well with an already established one, so the hype for this game was pretty high when it released in 2005. What we were given was a pretty decent offering, but it didn't quite live up to the Battlefront hype. Now, some 15 years later, THQ has resurrected the series and given the original game the remake treatment. We had a chance to dive in and see if it was worth it or not. The first thing people want to compare to the original game with a release like this are the graphics. While the new version obviously looks better, it still has the look of a dated game. Some interesting choices here involve changing the time of day in some instances, which really worked in the game's favor. Some night scenes in the original version made it hard to see, especially on TVs of 2005. Changing those moments to the daytime and enhancing the graphics make a world of difference. Sure, maybe aliens are scarier at night, but horror never really was a selling point for Destroy All Humans. If anything, it made trying to annihilate the human race seem fun. So, while not as good as a lot of the games that are currently being released, the game definitely looks much better than it did in 2005. The story has stayed the same and is pretty much a beat-by-beat clone of the original game with a few surprises thrown in for fans of the original. So much so that they even apologize for it before the game even boots up. Part of what they are apologizing for are the horrendous jokes that clearly haven't aged well. Dick and fart jokes take up most of the script here, and you'll be rolling your eyes at them before you get too deep into the game. Playing this game at the age of 20 is far different experience than playing it at the age of 36. While there are still may be an age and market for these types of jokes, video game writing has grown up tremendously in the last 15 years, for the most part. Gameplay was probably ahead of its time when the game released, and is pretty similar here, meaning it feels a little dated too. The mission variety is a saving grace. Some missions have you fighting on foot with an arsenal of alien weaponry at your disposal. Others involve hopping into your ship and taking out tanks and legions of soldiers as they attack, while some levels have you doing stealth missions and killing people who end the mission and force you to start over. During these missions, you'll have a lot of fun things to do, including scanning the human's brain and basically taking over their body so that you can blend in. Be careful though, this is only a temporary fix, and if you aren't careful, you'll be spotted and have to start over again. The controls can be a lot to remember, but work pretty fluidly once you master all of the different things that you can do. You'll find yourself from time to time obliterating a human when you're supposed to simply be reading their mind, but for the most part, the controls have aged well. Destroy All Humans Remake is going to be a pleasant time for fans of the series wanting to revisit one of their favorite games. It feels dated, and though it looks better than the original, it still lacks a lot of the polish that we come to expect from most of our modern games this generation. If you're looking for something to play that reminds you of a simpler time, or simply ran out of things to play due to the extra amount of time that you've been at home, then this game might just be for you. But it comes with some outdated humor and gameplay mechanics that, at times, can be hard to overlook. Look for Destroy All Humans wherever you buy games on PS4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and PC on July 28th.